Hi guys, it's me UB Programmer and welcome to the lecture 9 of DBMS series. We are talking about types of keys in the DBMS and we will talk about the foreign key in this lecture. And let's quickly see the definition. So an attribute or a column in the table that refers to primary key in an other table. So it is kind of confusing. Let me just grab a pen and then we will see about it, right? So let's say you have two tables. So this is the table 1 and this is the table 2. So you got two tables, and in the situation where we will use the foreign key will be like that one table from these two will be so one of these table will be connected, or you can say dependent on the other tables. So let's say this table number 2 will be dependent on the table number 1. So and this dependency we will talk about in the lecture 10, and we will see how this will be connected. But for now, let's assume this table 2 is dependent on the table 1. So we have to create a connection between them, right? And this connection between them will be created by this foreign key. So this table number 1 will have its own primary key, table number 2 will have its own primary key, but it has this table number 2, which is the dependent on the table number 1, will have the primary key also of this table number 1, right? So it is kind of confusing, but just uh, rewind the video and hear what I have said. So this table number 2, which is dependent on this table number 1, will have the primary key of this table number 1, which is acting as the foreign key in this table. So that is the whole picture. And let's just see in the text format. So it is used to create a link between two tables. So if you have a table with primary key employee ID and you have another table with the primary key invoice ID, invoice can be anything which employee have bought from the company, or any invoice of this employee, right? So two tables with two primary keys, and then the table number 2 has an attribute employee ID, which is the primary key of the first table. Then this employee ID can be represented as a foreign key in this table number 2, right? So this is the foreign key. It in short, it is used to create the connection between two tables. And the relationships, it is the new topic in our course, and it is the connection between two entity types or two tables. So Ubaid is enrolled in a course, and where are these two tables? Let's see. A course can be one table, and then this student can be one table, and Ubaid is the instance of this student entity type or table. So it can be connected with the course, right? So it is obviously connected with the course, and the connection is the enrollment, right? So student entity type and course entity type has a enrolled relationship, right? And this relationship will have the attribute of its own, and the main attribute will be key, and we will talk about this later. But you have to know that it is the combination of the primary keys of the both table. So both table will have their own primary keys, and the relationship we are building will have a key which will be combination of the both keys, right? Then there is a concept of cardinalities in a relationship. And what is that? How many number of instances of one entity type can be possibly related to the instances of the other entity type. Let's see by the example. One to one, an employee can have only one salary. It can't get the employee can't get the two salaries from the organization, so it is the one to one relationship. Many to many, the many employees can work on many projects, so it's like that, right? And many to one, so many projects can be supervised by one manager, right? So this is the cardinalities of the relationship, and that was it for the this video, and I will meet you in the next one. Thanks for watching.